TSUTigers.com. Sitting down with Stacy Grear, former quarterback, on our Off the Grid. And Stacy, thank you for joining us. And what years did you play at Tennessee State?
I played from years 1984 to 1988.
Okay. And Stacy, what did you major in when you went to TSU?
I majored in industrial technology, which is in the School of Engineering.
Okay. So after Tennessee State, what path did you take?
Well, I took the path I went into my field, which is I started out in engineering, which I worked there for about 10 years, and it led me to the field of GIS, which I'm currently in.
Okay. Kind of tell us a little bit about some of the things you actually do, just kind of giving us.
Actually, GIS is it's a broad field, and it's an acronym for Geographic Information Systems, and basically it's linking descriptive information, what things are like, with geographic information, what things are. Everybody today is in the cell phone age and navigation system, and that's basically what GIS is. That's what I do.
And Stacey, you're from Atlanta originally, and that this kind of took you back home as well.
Yes, sir. Originally from Atlanta, Auburn High School, born and raised.
Tell us a little bit about your high school playing days, and what were some of the big things before you got to TSU.
My high school playing days, we were a pretty exciting team. We drew big crowds in the city of Atlanta, and high school is a big thing in the city of Atlanta. And the games were on Friday and Saturday nights, and they were a lot of fun. Very competitive. A lot of great athletes come out of the Atlanta area.
And how did Tennessee State come onto your radar?
Tennessee State was on my radar as a child, and because I was always a student of the game, and playing my position, I knew there weren't many African American quarterbacks in that time. And I always was a fan of Joe Gill, who was probably my idol. And when Tennessee State came knocking on the door, it was just like a marriage made in heaven for me. Although I was recruited by a bunch of other schools, but when Tennessee State came knocking on the door, it's like everything else was secondary.
And so obviously you come to TSU and you play for the 4 years and such, but kind of tell us a little bit about the experience of playing for the Tigers.
The experience for the Tigers, we always say, I wouldn't trade it for the world. If I could do it all over again, I would have done it the same way. The friends for life I've made, the camaraderie, the education, and just the coaches that actually taught me the game of football. You kind of come into coming from high school, you kind of you're a star athlete, you think you know it all, and you find out you really don't know the game until you kind of meet some people that really are students of the game. And I think the coaches that we had here taught me a lot about the game of football, and as well as life itself.
Right. One of the biggest things about TSU was playing in the hole, playing in hell, and obviously you got to experience that before. Obviously TSU went to LP Field, but kind of talk about the atmosphere of playing in the hole during your time.
The hole was sacred territory. I remember our former coach, Bill Thomas. He would always remind me that we never lost in the hole, and probably until maybe my junior or senior year when we lost our first game in the hole. We never lost many games in the hole until maybe my junior year. Although some of our games, we played at Vanderbilt, but the majority of the games we played in the hole. That was sacred territory. Just didn't lose that.
Now, obviously, TSU had the great opportunity of playing LP Field, and this past season, they actually got it back into hell for 3 games, and what kind of meaning did that have to see the team actually get an opportunity to come back and play in hell?
Yeah, because it's home. The saying goes, "There's no place like home." It's nothing like playing in front of your home field, your home crowd. The noise level is always huge in the hole. And we're right there. It's close proximity to the dormitories and just to the campus itself. So it's nothing like playing at home.
Do you have any fond stories? You always hear about, maybe even students hanging out the windows in the dorms, looking out down on the field and getting crazy.
Yeah, I see now when you ride through campus, I see they got a kind of blue tarp kind of blocking the field. I remember back in the day, a lot of people would watch the games through the fence, and I see now they kind of got that blocked off. But you can just when you're playing in the hole, you're just looking up at the stands and you can see all around. I mean, just hundreds and thousands of people just watching the game, and there's no feeling like that.
That's good. Now, what are some of the other relationships that you gained while you were at TSU? Some of your, former teammates, maybe roommates or people that lived on your classmates and so on that maybe you have been able to stay in touch with over the years?
Yeah, of course, Coach Reed, he was also, we came in the same time in 1984, so now the head coach, which we're very proud to have, one of our own as the head coach. And the guys that came in with me and the guys that were my teammates, we're all friends for life. You build those relationships that are forever. And that's something you can't take away.
Now, of course, you say you came in with Rod Reed. Were there ever times that, is it kind of interesting to see him as the head coach now and think back of some things and of like when you guys were freshmen or sophomores and go, that same guy is our is the head coach.
And Rod, he was always a student of the game. Right. So it's not surprising in that aspect. But you can see, the maturity level, and you can see people growing. And you look at him, and you can see Rod doing certain type of interviews, and you can see our old coach the same way. Even sometimes the mannerisms and some of the things he says kind of remind you of our old coach. So it's kind of fun in that aspect.
Well, now, how often do you get a chance to maybe come back to Nashville or, come back to some of the football games, homecoming, or even have an opportunity to come back and be a part of the golf classic?
I've made it a point in the near future that I'm going to try to get back a little more, especially since Rod, took over the job. And we try to support him in every way. Because like I said, he came in with us and he's like one of us. We call each other five because we spent those 5 years together. So, we try to support him in every aspect.
Well, Stacy, we always ask, what is the fondest moment or fondest memory that you have of Tennessee State University?
Other than probably getting my degree, of course, which was first and foremost, just the camaraderie that we had amongst the ball players. And probably the funnest time was probably the '86 season, which was my sophomore year. We went 10-2-1 that year. We went to the quarterfinal of the playoffs. And I would say probably during that year, I can remember going down to Grambling and playing the game in Eddie Robinson Stadium. And I can remember, the media was there because he was approaching us. He was trying to get his 300 win. And we went down in the hole and they had all these signs and they had the news media there already congratulating him on his 300 win before we even played. Needless to say, we put a pretty good whipping on him that day. And he wasn't too happy about it. So that was probably one of the funnest memories I had at TSU. I had a great game. And, although I had the flu that game, but I had a great game. And we beat Grambling pretty bad.
That's an amazing moment right there. So, Stacy, I definitely appreciate you sitting down with us and letting us catch back up with how you're doing. And,
okay.
thank you very much for
no problem
being a part of TSU Tigers.
Thank you.